Let's paint a city scene at dusk. So here we go. So I've got a big mop and I'm wetting the whole of the paper. I probably need a bigger mop brush. Now I'm getting some cobalt blue and applying it to the top. And as it comes down, it becomes fainter. Now I'm getting some yellow ochre and applying it at the bottom of the sky, and then some brilliant orange, and then just adding that, and then going all the way down. I really need a bigger brush for this. Now I'm doing the clouds in the sky, and I'm doing the underlighting of the clouds with brilliant orange. And now I'm using a dark mix of maybe cobalt blue, alizarin crimson and a touch of burnt umber. It's probably more burnt umber and cobalt blue. And now I'm doing the same mix but even darker, so there's a bit more burnt umber in it. And just continuing with that. And now I'm using the cobalt blue with a touch of brown, burnt umber, and I'm doing these lovely light blue streaky clouds at the bottom. And then I leave that to dry. So now I'm going to do the city buildings. I think that's phthalo blue, which is a super strong blue. And maybe there's a touch of alizarin crimson and burnt umber in there. Now I'm adding some burnt umber and alizarin crimson and making a darker mix. Same colours though. And at the bottom I'm going to use some burnt umber. Just spray it. Now I'm going to do the buildings using the same mix, but I'm going to make it very dark. And I'm doing all this with a mop brush. So you need to do this fairly quickly. And now I'm doing details with a small round brush, but the same mix. And I keep spraying it to keep it wet so that I can keep doing this. And now I'm making another building. But when you spray it, make sure you don't spray at the paper but above it, so that the drops fall down. And now I'm doing with a liner brush an aerial. Spray it again, and now I'm making another strong mix, and this time it's mostly just phthalo blue and burnt umber, and I kind of press my brush hairs down into the palette so that they all spread out to give me that lovely texture for the tree. And I finished that, and I just did the sign a moment ago, a little sign, and here's going to be a big sign using the same dark mix, maybe a bit more red in it. And I'm using a round brush, and then in a moment I'm going to get my ruler and draw the post going down. Yeah, it's quite a challenge painting this sign. Okay, here we go, here's my ruler, and there we go. And you want it in perspective, so it's at a slight angle. Spray again and darken that right hand side. I thought it was too light. Now I'm going to paint a street lamp. Few simple strokes. I begin at the top very carefully, and then when I feel confident I do a sweeping stroke down. And these are the posts for power cables, and I'm using a lovely round brush here, and now I'm using the liner brush to do the power cables, just connecting them. And then just a few small details just to make it look a bit more interesting. And then a few lines. That one was wrong. I wiped it out with tissue and then recorrect. And then this is going to be for the car, the window. So this is just the same mix but super thick, and some lines for the surface of the road, then a liner brush with just pure water on it for some light tyre tracks. And then I'm doing splattering using a very light blue. It's a kind of greeny blue colour. I forget what it's called, maybe turquoise blue or something. But it's a beautiful colour. And then just spray, and I added a bit of that to the car as well. And now I'm just splattering it with burnt sienna. Left it to dry. Now I'm going to add some white, titanium white, so to the lamp, and also to the or light, street light, and then also to the car, to the windscreen at the front. So at first it's just pure white, but then I add some darker blue, and I just clean it up with some tissue if it goes over the lines, over the edge where I don't want it. And then that is basically that greeny blue colour with some of that white paint, those highlights on the roof and these by the side of the car and this bit here. And then I think I'm using pure white here, yeah I am, for the lights. You can see my front tyre's not really in the right place, but because it's a bit blurred, it doesn't really matter. And then I'm trying to darken this windscreen on the left hand side. So that's a bit of brown. I'm just using everything here that's dark, trying to blend it in. It needs to be even darker, so I'm adding some blue. And now it's beginning to get darker. That's quite difficult. And even more. And that's about it. It is it. So there you go. That's why I painted this city scene at dusk. I hope you enjoyed it. And here we go, the final picture. If there's one thing that I could improve, it would be to make the clouds a bit higher and have a bit more of a gap between the ground and the sky and make that lighter. So there we go. I hope you enjoyed it, and have a go and happy painting. Bye for now.